Hey YouTube, it's your girl, One in a Million, and I'm back to make another video. I'm here to make a different type of video today. Today I will be talking about royalty and CJSOCOOL. I know I usually don't talk about royalty and CJSOCOOL on this channel, but I have been a huge royalty and CJSOCOOL fan, and I just wanted to be known I have been a diehard royalty and CJSOCOOL fan, right? And I am so hurt to see where they are right now. It is just terrible to see that they have just crashed out so bad like this. So let's talk about it. So my journey with watching CJSOCOOL and royalty started when I remember Nation was about 4 years old, right? She was little, the kids were really small, and the house that royalty and CJ lived in was a good sized house, but it was like a regular suburban sized home, right? When initially watching them, you just see royalty with CJ every now and then when he would react to a video with his brother Jinx, right? I don't know if Jinx lived there at the time, but Jinx was around, right? And he was also a big YouTuber at the time, right? CJSOCOOL would eventually get bigger when he would start making prank videos with the family and the kids, and he got super big off a prank video he did with the kids where it had something to do with laxatives, but it wasn't really laxatives. I don't really know how everything in the back end was, but you get my drift. If you want to know more about that, you can go into that, look into it, go down that YouTube rabbit hole. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about how this beautiful black family has just destroyed each other online, and how terrible it is to see. Royalty is the mother of CJSOCOOL's twin babies, Cordero Jr. and Cordera, right? And they also raised royalty's kids together, Leonidas, Carnation, and Jalea. He raised them since they were small, so to see all this happen right now, it's really heartbreaking because you know the kids see it too. But anyways, enough of that. CJSOCOOL had been with royalty. A lot of people don't know this. I just want to let this be the first thing I say after me ranting for a little bit. CJSOCOOL had been with royalty before he was CJSOCOOL. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people look at royalty as if that she was just some type of jump off or some type of random girl who came into the picture and was able just to sit pretty. But no, royalty got with CJ when he was broke. He had no money to his name. She was actually living with her mother in her house while royalty worked, and CJ stayed home taking care of royalty's kids. So this is before CJSOCOOL was a YouTuber or anything. I believe CJSOCOOL was in the military, played slots, not played slots, but was a blackjack dealer at the in some type of Vegas hotel or some store in Vegas. He was a blackjack dealer, but then he got in trouble or something like that. I remember that. He said all this in a story time. You can go look that up later. But anyways, long story short, he had caught royalty. He had seen royalty a night when they were in the club, and they got together, and royalty was taking care of CJ before he got money. Once he actually started making more money and started making money on the YouTube, that's when she eventually would ask him, can you take care of me? And he obliged because she had taken care of him for so long. So I think a lot of the people who have hate for royalty, where does this hate from royalty come from, right? Because I just don't see it. Maybe it's just me, maybe because I've been watching for so long and I always really liked royalty because she never was braggadocious or like loud about what she did or how she moved. She really moved very comfortably, as if like this was the life she was already had. A lot of women, when they get into a lot of money or get a guy with money, they tend to floss and do all this extra stuff, and she just kind of always relaxed with it. She never really wanted to be famous. She always really wanted to play the back end and just live her great life, right? And so then we were introduced to Kamari. Kamari was introduced later on because everybody thought that the 3 kids were CJ's, and CJ would constantly say those weren't his kids, those were royalty's kids. And then he introduced his daughter Kamari, right? And we were all happy to see them together. Later down the line, Nike would show up. And there was a huge issue. CJ had gotten arrested. There was explicit pictures being sent from his baby mother Nike to CJ, and all hell broke loose. You can go look that up too. This is all brief summary, right? After that happened, the relationship between Kamari and CJ was very strained, and I knew right there that CJ and Royalty was not going to be able to come back from this, because Royalty, and I like Royalty, but Royalty did not handle that situation in a good way at all, in my opinion. I'm going to hold everyone accountable, even my good sis Royalty. If you're going to play the role of a stepmother, you have to be very, very aware of what you're saying around that child about their parent. And I hate to say it, but there was a lot of times that Royalty would speak really bad about Kamari's mom in front of her, as if the child wasn't there and she wasn't going to feel any type of way about it. And then she has to also be in the house with 3 other kids whose mama's talking shit, who said they'll do this to her mama. Can you imagine how uncomfortable feeling that would be for Kamari? I remember watching all those videos and thinking, oh my goodness, I can't believe Royalty is doing this. But in some type of saving grace, there would be times where even CJ would say some things about Kamari as if that she was the redheaded stepchild, or as if she was different. And Royalty would step in and say, no, I don't like that, and make Kamari feel included and buy her, nice things just to make sure that she felt included within the family activities, right? After that, there was still cheating rumors, cheating allegations with CJ, and that's when Royalty ultimately was pregnant. And then I think while she was pregnant, there was an issue with Nike again, wishing some bad on Royalty's children. I don't really know. There was so much drama with these ladies. I can understand why they finally did break up, because Royalty probably got tired of it all. But then you have to also understand there's a whole bunch of money involved in this too. And I think a lot of the kids that watch these videos don't understand how much you need money to survive, right? Royalty has 5 kids now, right? And she has been accustomed to a certain type of lifestyle. I know a lot of these young girls don't really know what it's like to go on trips, have nice massages monthly, getting your nails and toes done bi-weekly, your hair done every month. I know those are kind of foreign concepts to a lot of these women, because that's a big budget. And I'm not trying to sound funny. I'm being honest. That type of luxury, and then on top of what they were doing, is a lot of money. And when you come accustomed to that, you're not willing to go back to regular stuff. And I can understand why Royalty would stay with this man. She loved him. But then also, she's not willing to give up the lifestyle that she's come accustomed to. A lot of these kids, a lot of these young women who've never even had a free meal at Burger King wouldn't even know what that's like, right? So they just see Royalty and see her as this really ugly woman who is just so selfish and she's just so ungrateful. But it's like, no. She has been accustomed to this for about 10, maybe I'll not say 10, I'll say about maybe 6 years now in her life, where her kids have gotten accustomed to it, because in the beginning CJ didn't have any money, but now they have money and he's doing things to them every day. Now she's realizing it's probably the smaller things that matter more, being home with the kids, right? Being there. I'm not saying that Royalty never got ungrateful. I don't know, I wasn't there, but she couldn't have been too ungrateful, because she was with you when you didn't have any money. So let's fast forward to them breaking up, right? They broke up twice. They broke up the first time because Royalty left. He got some girl, Tata, I think, pregnant. I think that was the second time. I don't even remember. But the first time they broke up, they got back together. The second time they broke up, and that's when shit went really, really left. Oops, I said shit. Oh well. That's when things went really, really left, right? Things went so left. CJSOCOOL was shot in a home invasion. Oh my goodness. That was terrible. I'm going to try to remember to put some clip in there and something about it, talking about it. But anyways, CJSOCOOL was shot in a home invasion. I remember watching that and I was thinking, oh my goodness, this is terrible. This man, this black man, who's really not, well, while he's kind of annoying to some people, he's really not problematic. All he's really doing is motivating people. He should be, at least, when he tells his story about, you know, how he came from adoption to where he's at now. It really should motivate a lot of men to get to where he's at. To see him get shot, it was really sad. It was even worse to see that him and his girlfriend was kind of accusing royalty of getting him shot. It was a pretty terrible thing to think that he would really accuse royalty of that. I even was like, oh, CJ, you are dead wrong. CJ was dead wrong for that. And for a lot of these women trying to justify CJ's actions, I know you're just really looking at it from a, if it was me, I would never. Y'all some pick-me-ass bitches, right? And y'all the worst pick-me-ass bitches, because y'all are women who will never get it but wish you could. And I say that to say, royalty had been with this man for about 9 to 10 years at this point. Gave him children, dealt with all his shit, held him down. But now, after they broke up the second time, you think he's gonna get shot? No, that's not how these things work, baby. That's not how these things work. What planet did you come from that you really thought that she was the one to shoot this man? You think this woman doesn't want her kids to have this wealthy man as her father? No. She knows that if this man dies, she is not going to get as much as she could have got if he was alive, even if there is an insurance policy. What? That money is only so good if the father's time isn't there. But I digress, right? Let's talk about the huge fight. That huge fight that happened between royalty and Nike. Oh my goodness, so sad, so sad. Oh, I was so heartbroken to see royalty out there rolling around the ground like that. I was like, girl, but I understood it. She was mad, she was frustrated. She had been this man that she was with for 10 years. They're breaking up. He got his family talking bad about her as if that she ain't never put her whole heart into this relationship. I understood her frustration and why she just snapped. And I don't want to make it seem like CJ wanted the fight to happen. He had really been down bad and sick, so that was the only way the fight could happen. Because probably if he was well, the fight wouldn't have happened because CJ would have stopped it physically. But because he was not well enough to stop it physically, that's how the fight happened ultimately. I have a rant on Nike real quick because I usually could understand where Nike's coming from, but in this situation, I feel like Nike is just a big bird, and I can't stand big bird ass chicks. I can't stand big bird females. Nike, this man left you, went to Indiana, and had you playing the side piece as the baby mama. And Ari the Dawn said it better herself. Ain't nothing worse than life is you playing the side chick to your own baby father chick. You playing the side chick to your own baby father. He over here got you sending baby little pictures for money. Says he should be just sending you money just because you got his child, not for the pictures. These girls be hustling backwards and it upsets me so much. And then you got the nerve to be mad at royalty because she did it the right way. But I digress, right? The huge fight. I don't even want to go into who won, who lost, because at the end of the day, these two women are grown-ass women with children who see this shit on the internet, and it's just sad, okay? I was so disappointed in royalty, and honestly, I wasn't that much disappointed in Nike because I expected that from that bird chick. Anyways, I digress. After the fight had happened, I took a break on watching the whole CJSOCOOL royalty situation because it was just too sad to watch, to see how this beautiful black family who went to just showing black excellence at its finest has crashed and burned on the internet, tearing each other down as if they never loved each other. Ooh, baby, if it's a thin line between love and hate ain't never hit so hard, it's this situation right here. It's a thin line between love and hate. Oh yes, I wanted to give my opinion on Lexi, right? And this might be an unpopular opinion, but honestly, Lexi's doing everything she's supposed to do. She is a young girl who is the girlfriend to a millionaire. She is playing her role. Now, even though I like royalty and everything, I'm not mad at sis. Sis is playing her role. Sis said, I found this man. You don't want him. I'm going to have him. And I'm going to put up with all this shit because I don't have the kids. And I got the patience for his ass, right? And my family is willing to go all out for your kids at this point, right? And honestly, I see CJ being with her for a long time. And I think royalty should just accept it and move on. And just move on gracefully. You know, you yelling at the chick, it just makes you look very, very bothered. And if CJ is still trying to get you on the side, let him try, but don't do anything, because ain't nothing worse than playing the side chick to your own baby father, sis. I'm gonna give you the same advice I gave old girl back there. But Lexi's doing everything she's supposed to do as a girlfriend. She's gonna stick by her man's side, as she should. Now, this Rico guy. I don't really know much about Rico. I don't really follow the blogs about his baby mama and stuff like that. I don't really watch that kind of stuff because after a while, like I said, I needed a break. It was just heartbreaking to see the whole situation with them. You guys got to understand, I've watched them since Carnation was 4. And watched everyone grow into the little people they are, have their own personalities. And to see them just break up like they did and then talk about each other and CJSOCOOL making disses on royalty. It's just like, man, I remember when the twins were born and they were premature and they were just so happy the kids got to come home, right? I remember when CJ went all out for Mother's Day for royalty during COVID and he just wanted her to feel special, right? CJ really loved that woman. And royalty really loved him. And I'm not saying that they had to stay together, but I wish if they were going to break up, they did it a lot more gracefully and not let the world see the ugly side of it, right? Because at the end of the day, you have people who really looked up to them. Because when I was watching them, I was young, and I looked up to that black excellence, and I wanted that for my family. And it made me want to go out and get, you know, all my accomplishments, because I just saw how he went hard for it. You know, people want to say, oh, royalty stayed home with the kids. Why not? Why not stay home with the kids and make sure she poured her all into their kids? You know, I just love their dynamic, and to see them crash out, it's just like, dang, you know, I wish that they could have just broke up gracefully and just been great separately, you know, and still portrayed black excellence, because that's ultimately what I really liked about them, you know, for all parties. You know, Nike, I could understand her frustration, you know, but also portray black excellence, because what you're portraying right now is bird behavior, sis. But that's just my opinion on the whole situation. This is all in my opinion. I really want the best for royalty. CJ, I'm kind of just done with him at this point. He on the other side now, and they can have him. But royalty, I really want the best for you. Just be the best you can, sis. And, you know, I send out love, positivity, healing, understanding, and grace. And I hope you get more of it. And don't let any of these jealous females take you down, sis. Because there's a whole bunch of them. But I'm out. Have a great rest of your day. Happy Father's Day, y'all. I hope you guys treat your fathers as good as you treated your mothers on Mother's Day. Deuces.